Hey guys, Kurt here with NK Garage, and I got another tool haul for you guys. This tool haul cost us a grand total of $0, and that's because I found all of these tools in the trash. Believe it or not, people actually throw out stuff like this. And the reason why somebody probably threw these tools out, the toolbox that these tools were in was completely rusted. It probably sat outside or in a basement that had gotten flooded, and there was actually still water and moisture in the box, and it was just nasty and looked horrible. But I was able to pull all of this out of the box and grab it and bring it home with me. So let's take a look at what we got. We'll start here on the right. We've got several pairs of vice grips. These are all the Irwin brand vice grips. We have a nice 7R here, and this one, has a couple little bits of surface rust on it just from being around all that moisture and stuff. But this one was on the top of the toolbox, and it's got light use, and it's in great shape and works great. Next up over here, this is a 10R, and this one definitely needs a cleaning and some TLC, but it is moving, so the adjustment screw even moves, so I think I can definitely clean this up and get this one back in service. Over here, we have two of the 6LNs. These are the ones with that like needle nose end on there. This one's in very good shape. Definitely going to be an added piece to our collection. And this one here is broken. Somebody gave it some kind of beating, and this one I'll probably just keep around for parts. Sometimes I need parts for these, whether it's the end screw or the spring, even these handle parts, you can actually replace those if you need to. We got three of the welding style vice grip pliers. This one over here, somebody had added on their own additional plates here just to help grip. They do make one that has that, but somebody had modified and made it themselves. Going on, we have tons of pliers. We have two channellock tongue and groove pliers. This one is in really good shape. I already started to clean it off with some WD-40 just because it's such a newer, nicer one than this one. But I think I can get both of these, back in service and working just fine. There's nothing really wrong with this one. It's just definitely used, and it's got a little bit of rust and grime in there. Here's an older pair. I'm not sure if this is actually a channellock brand or not because it needs to be cleaned up. Somebody had replaced the rivet at one point with a bolt, but still works. We got a pair of Crescent USA pliers as well. That's definitely a keeper for us, as we love Crescent, channellock, any USA made quality tools. Got a cheaper, junky little pair here. This one, I'll clean it up just for fun, but I don't know if I'll necessarily be keeping that. Got two diagonal cutting pliers up here. This one, I have no idea what brand it is, and it's completely locked up. I'm going to give it a shot at cleaning it up, but I don't know. This one here, I might be able to get it going, but it's pretty beat as well. Over here, we have more Klein tools. We have some Klein wiring strippers and crimpers. We also have just another stripper over here. Got two pairs of USA made slip joint pliers. This one here is the Utica 7-8, and this one works pretty fine. Definitely still going to get cleaned up with the rest of these guys. This one here is a Diamond Duluth. I think that's more of a 6-inch plier. Got another wire stripper and crimper tool here. This one is a Service Star. This you won't be able to see on camera because of the rust, but this is a pair of Klein Lyman's pliers, and they were in decent shape before the rust got to them, so I'm hoping to get them back to at least a acceptable condition. Got a pair of riveter here.
Rivet gun, hand riveter.
Yeah. It's the Marson Click Fast. We have tons of riveters, so I probably won't be holding on to this one. It's a pair of Wiss number 2, the green pair of the tin snips. Got another junky pair of slip joint pliers here. This pair of pliers is interesting. I don't know what brand it is. When I clean it up, I might find some markings on it. It's too bad it's a little bit bent at the top. But the cutters, I've already used these cutters and they actually work really well. This is one of Nick's favorite tools. It is the, automatic wire stripper. These things are just great, USA made, so we'll be keeping this one after we clean it up. Got a small pair of needle nose pliers made in Italy, but those ones have a decent amount of rust in the tips. Got some adjustable wrenches over here. We got the classic Zuby Ando 12-inch. Then we got one of these, speed wrenches, as they call them. Just an unbranded wrench that has the funny little holes in here for if you just happen to have that right size nut or bolt and you can actually access it with this. Got the Crescent 8-inch USA made in excellent condition. This here is an SK 42470 half-inch drive ratchet and it's in great working condition. Of course I will open it up to service it, but this is going to make a great addition to our ratchet collection. This Craftsman is completely locked up. It's the V series with the patent numbers on it. This I'm going to definitely give it a shot at another life, but we'll see. Don't know how bad it is inside that head. We got some wrenches over here. We got a couple of SK wrenches. This one here is an 8mm. Have a 1/2-inch by 9/16 stubby box. Got a 5/8 combination wrench, and then this one here is a 7/16 by 1/2 inch. This is just a Chinese wrench. Got a proto, more like tappet style wrench here, longer length with the thinner heads. Then we got a couple of cheap Husky wrenches, a Craftsman starter manifold wrench, and an Eastco wrench. Moving on, we got some screwdrivers. This is just a bunch of random screwdrivers that were in there. There's a Husky one here. There's some Craftsman knockoffs up here in the left-hand corner. We got some of the cushion grip, whether these are Klein or possibly Crescent brand, I'm not sure. There's an old Craftsman screwdriver in here. These ones are made by Great Neck. This is a Malco nut driver. And this is just an old wooden handle Phillips number 4. But to top it off, we got 4 Stanley 100 plus screwdrivers. They're all flathead blade, but I love these screwdrivers. This one and this one are actually in pretty decent condition. And we got the little stubby as well. This is an old Exolite reamer, and it's been used, but I'm going to be surprised, how this cleans up, because this looks really bad, but this is that old acetate plastic that grows funny things on it. If you guys are experienced with Exolite and old Craftsman screwdrivers, you know what I'm talking about. Got a set of Craftsman carbide tipped masonry drills here. There's 3 out of 4 in here. Little mini mag light actually works. There's a center punch tool here, quite rusty. 2 files. We have a square over here. Then we have a bunch of punches and chisels. Some of these are quite used, some of them are quite rusty, but we'll clean them up and see how they look. Got a Stanley crowbar here and 2 small little C-clamps. And I think I forgot to mention there is this Milwaukee Sawzall blade, small little carrying case in here with 4 brand new metal blades. So that was a score. I think I did pretty good for the price, right, Nick?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hard to argue with the $0.
Yeah, you can't ever complain with free tools. Keep an eye out, guys, because you never know what people are throwing in the trash. And honestly, I just saw an old, rusty toolbox, but you always just take a look inside. You never know what you're going to find. Even when you first open it up, there's some junk on top, but look at what could be inside. So, what do I do with these tools after I find them and I lay them out and I show you guys? Well, a lot of these tools that come rusty, we bring over to the special bucket. This here is a 5-gallon bucket of Evapor Rust, and this is my choice for removing rust from small hand tools. And the reason for that is it's easy and it works by itself when I'm not even here. So I'm gonna just end up taking a lot of these rusty tools and I just throw them right in here. And you don't have to worry about it. I've never really damaged a tool, even the ratchet, doesn't matter. I just throw all this stuff in here. Usually leave it in here for about a day. If you have a cold shop, you're not going to get as good of an effect as if it was warm. This stuff works better when it's warm. But the evaporust, something in there binds to the iron oxide on the outside of the tool, so it doesn't actually eat into the inner good metal. It just takes out the iron oxide. So it's pretty good. The only thing I've experienced is if you have some tools that have paint on them and the paint is very loose and there's a lot of rust around the paint, you might lose your paint. But that's usually because you have a tool that's in poor condition. So we're gonna go ahead and just dump a bunch of this stuff in here, and then tomorrow we'll pull it out and we'll show you guys the next step and just how much work the evaporust does on its own. And this isn't even a new bucket of evaporust. As you can see, it looks quite black, and that's because it is quite used. I've probably dumped 20, 30 batches of tools in here.
Yeah, that stuff, when it comes pretty clear. It almost looks like apple juice, like that kind of color. And it does not look like that anymore.
I think we're gonna go ahead and just pretty much dump most of this stuff in here. If we can fit it. I won't dump the drill or that, but I don't think I need to dump that guy, this ratchet, but we'll dump all the rusty stuff.
Well, that was a splasher.
Yep. Even this newer pair of channel locks. I don't know how many of these will be able to fit, but hey, just keeps on taking. Okay. We'll go ahead and dump that in there too.
There's not going to be a whole lot left after he gets done with this evaporust.
I don't know if those are going to fit. This guy will fit. Throw that in there. Can this fit? And this guy? I think that'll do it. I don't know if I can fit any of those other bigger tools in there, but those guys aren't that bad. I don't want to put the level bubble in there. It would probably be fine, but I'm just a little worried about it. But it's not that bad. I'm not going to put the flashlight in there, and the rest of this stuff isn't too bad. So we'll go ahead and put the top on. I'm not even going to clamp it down. I'm not worried about it. And we'll check back in tomorrow, and I'll show you guys just how much work the evaporust does for you. All right. It is the next day. The tools have been in the evaporust for at least 24 hours. You can leave them in there for longer, but I found that 24 hours works just fine for me. So I think that really depends on how thick the layer of rust is on your tools. Like I also said, warmer is better. This liquid is dirty, so it doesn't do as good of a job as a brand new bucket. The brand new bucket, I mean, it's crazy. It's like super stuff. But I usually put on a pair of gloves. The stuff on the top I'll just pick out. You know, this guy wasn't too bad, but he's already looking better. Got some handful of stuff. Looking good. Looking good. Alright, we're not going to bore you with me pulling all the tools out of there, but usually what I do at this point is I'll grab a big magnet on a stick and just start pulling stuff out. So we're going to do that off camera and then...
Yeah, what's your process once you get it out?
Oh, well, I was going to show them that in a little bit, but yeah, I lay everything out on my towels, then I get some soapy water And, you know, I take the tools and dip them, move them around a little bit, and then put them on other towels. This stuff is very sticky. It's very sticky, so I like to get that stickiness off. And it doesn't take a lot, just a quick little rinse. Bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah, you basically, once you take them out of the evaporust, while they're still wet with the evaporust, you're going to want to dunk them in the soapy water bath. Don't let the evaporust dry on there, because then it's just a really sticky, kind of nasty layer.
Super sticky.
It's very kind of tricky to get off from that point. So let's get all this pull out of here, and then we'll show you the difference.
All right, guys. I think we're looking a bit better here. This is just a simple 24-hour dip in some pretty used evaporust. But you'll see a large improvement on a lot of these tools. Like I said, some of them with the deeper pitting rust definitely could use a longer dip to help remove a lot of that. And also, just note that if you do this yourself, these tools have only been out for 15 minutes. You're going to start getting some flash rusting as well. If that's something you're worried about, you know, definitely get some oil on there or something. But these are all just, I wouldn't say junk tools, but these are work in progress tools. And there's definitely some nice ones here, but stuff like this pair of Klein pliers and those channel locks, I'm going to be taking these on the bench grinder with the wire wheel and just giving those a nice clean up there. But this has definitely gotten us a lot better in with a very small amount of input on our end. So I'm pretty happy. Still a little bit to go, but you can save your tools, and you can save tools that you find. You know, a lot of these had some really deep rust. Some of them that weren't so bad, but a lot of them had some pretty deep rust. And we were able to fix that, which makes me happy.
So what's your favorite tool out of the mix?
Just one?
Yeah, just one. You can only pick one.
All right, well, this one didn't get dipped, but this is the SK half-inch drive ratchet. Just needs a little bit of cleanup, but it's in pretty good shape. That was one of the best finds in there. But second to that...
Whoa. That's more than one.
Well, there's the Craftsman ratchet.
Oh.
Yeah. That one doesn't spin. We got to open that one up. I think this was the best find. Second to that, I like these Klein Lyman's pliers. Channel lock pliers, yeah, always good to get those. This isn't everything from the original haul. This is just what we dipped.
That's true.
But I think out of the entire haul, this is probably what I would consider the best find. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned. We got more tool hauls coming up. There should be another tool haul video next week because we've already picked up the tools. So have a great day, and get out there and hunt some tools down, guys.